the most memorable finishes in UFC history.
Another highlight for the real!
Tees off with the Irish Dragon, vicious contender who's elbowing his way foe by foe.
Now those patented shoulder elbows raining down.
All the way to the top.
Wow! The Irish Dragon wants to finish the Paul Felder!
And finally, it's time to unleash and tees off with the Irish Dragon. Vicious contender, straight elbowing his way foe by foe.
Now those patented shoulder elbows raining down.
All the way to the top. Undefeated Heart of Dagestan, who has stood with the best and defeated the best, and earning the distinction of being the best lightweight of all time. Tonight, from Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, it's UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier, and it starts right now.
Yes, Dateline Abu Dhabi UAE. What a backdrop we have here tonight as this remarkable nation has once again rolled out the red carpet for the MMA leader, third time overall, first since 2014. And we are in for an absolute show here tonight. Stars of the show made their way to the arena. There he is, the most dominant force in the game at present. UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. The number down to 27 men who have tried to beat him in mixed martial arts. None have succeeded. Tonight, with the crowd behind him and the pressure on, Khabib will try to add to his appreciable legacy. And he'll try to do it by outlasting the oncoming interim lightweight champ Dustin Poirier. He broke through, struck gold against Max Holloway just 5 months ago. And it's been his life's mission to get to this point. He has paid in full. And tonight, he believes he is primed and ready to turn the MMA world on its axis by upsetting the great Nurmagomedov. Live from the arena on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, this is UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier. Thanks for being with us for this huge night here in Abu Dhabi. I'm John Anik, and there's nothing easy about being undefeated and having a perfect record in modern-day mixed martial arts, but Khabib Nurmagomedov has certainly made it look that way. He has handled all the pressure that comes with true greatness. But in the 11 months since he submitted Conor McGregor, the lightweight contenders have really started to pile up. Chief among them, the interim champion Dustin Poirier, who is trying to vault into UFC immortality if he can spring what would be a monumental upset here tonight. Thrilled to be joined tonight by the UFC Bantamweight champion Dominick Cruz. What a fight week, what a fight night it has been thus far here in Abu Dhabi.
Oh my gosh, and what I love this is something different. You don't feel the same way. About me, it's cold. These guys are sweating so much in the back that now they have to adjust their water load in the back to make sure they're not wore out by the time they get in here. This is different here. The energy is through the roof, and I cannot wait to watch this.
I can barely hear what you're saying. I think you're telling everybody it's wicked hot in here, and that's okay. Well, this is officially moving night in the lightweight division. 4 of the 5 fights you will see here will be contested at 155 pounds. That includes both the main and co-main events. Paul Felder versus Edson Barboza, and then Khabib Nurmagomedov defending his belt against Dustin Poirier. How much time do you need, Dominick Cruz, to tell the masses what makes Khabib so special?
Well, you might need all night because 27 in he's won with a lot of different things. You saw him drop the with that overhand right. You see him slam people if you don't get on the hands right. You've seen him beat people to quitting against the fence, throwing in the hooks. You've seen him beat the who's who of the defender with arm locks, with chokes, with just pure aggression and mauling. He finishes almost everybody that he fights, and if he doesn't finish you, he breaks you to the point that you just run out of gas and you don't want to fight anymore.
On the other side, Dustin Poirier seems to know what he's up against. A lot of self-belief. He thinks he has what it takes to get it done tonight.
I mean, don't we all? And this is a man that really has the fight win streak behind him, beating a guy like Max Holloway, Alvarez, and so many others as you're watching in this breakdown. I mean, this man has lightning fast combinations, very sharp. He's extremely accurate. It's one of the biggest things. Very in your face when he aims at it. And that is something that Khabib Nurmagomedov is better watched for.
23rd UFC appearance for Dustin Poirier here tonight Nearly twice as much octagon experience as Khabib Nurmagomedov. We'll see if it pays dividends. Wicked excited for this main event here coming up in a matter of hours. Also a lot of anticipation, of course, for the co-headliner tonight. Edson Barboza, Paul Felder, Act 2. First meeting back in 2015, went to the Brazilian.
What I love about this is they're, first of all, two of the best strikers in the entire division, but it's a rematch. So now they've got to adjust to what each other knows about one another. The spinning back elbows, the spinning back fist. What knows Barboza, is he going to be able to check those? Last time, Paul Felder ate one too many shots and didn't return. He says, I need to eat the shots and return and not allow myself to get hit and not hit him back twice as many times. I have made the adjustment, says Paul Felder. However, Barboza is not somebody that goes away easily. This is going to be a fight for the masses right here.
Well, both fighters believe they are completely different versions of themselves, or certainly much improved versions dating to that first fight. We'll see how the second meeting goes tonight. On the rules front, the newest set of unified rules for MMA are in play here in Abu Dhabi. We'll also have the limited use of instant replay tonight. That'll only be to look at a fight-ending sequence, though, so once replay is called for, that particular fight cannot be restarted. Coming up next, it should be a good one, as Nordine Taleb faces Muslim, king of Kung Fu, Salikov. Back in the octagon tonight, Muslim Salikov wants to keep the knockouts coming as he faces off with veteran and fellow finisher Nordine Taleb. One of the most decorated Wushu Sanda competitors to cross over into the UFC, dynamic knockout artist Muslim Salikov showed off what he could do in the octagon last year when he finished Ricky Rainey inside of 2 rounds. Now with exactly sure what happened, well, Muslim Salikov happened tonight, and that is a very happy man as he makes it back-to-back UFC wins. Taleb at 38 will have to go back to the drawing board. Now to Bruce Buffer to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 26 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by TKO, Muslim King of Kung Fu, Salikov.
Coming up next, with no shortage of fan support tonight, the well-rounded Belal Muhammad going for a 6th win in his last 7, and he is favored to get the job done here as he takes on the Japanese striker/judo player Takashi Sato. He made good on his UFC debut back in April. He will try to find that knockout button once again tonight against Belal. Remember the name Muhammad. To a man many of these fans have come to see, and consistent performances have produced 6 wins already in the UFC for Belal Muhammad. He believes another impressive effort tonight against Takashi Sato may be his ticket to the top 15. Nearly 2 years after his first business trip outside of the US to Australia, Belal Muhammad now hits Abu Dhabi for this most anticipated matchup tonight against Takashi Sato. A dominant run on the Japanese fight scene put Sato on the radar of UFC fans. And once he arrived in the big show in April, he lived up to the hype and the excitement with a 2nd-round knockout of Ben Saunders. Tonight, Sato returns to face the talented Muhammad, a versatile competitor who has elevated his fight game to the tune of 5 wins in his last 6.
Belal Muhammad
over fellow up-and-comer Curtis Miller. Coming up next, Belal, remember the name Muhammad, squares off against Takashi 10 Sato. This tale of the tape, Belal Muhammad, 31 years old. Takashi Sato is 29. Muhammad, the taller man by an inch. But it's Takashi Sato who will have the 1-inch reach advantage. Takashi Sato, plus 290 underdog tonight against the prohibitive favorite. Belal, remember the name Muhammad. Muhammad is in green. Takashi Sato out of the Southpaw stands in red.
Watch that right hand of Muhammad. That's his favorite punch, and against the southpaw, that's a good punch to have lined up.
Muhammad, who lives with Jared Gordon in Milwaukee, is truly married to the game, absolutely obsessed with mixed martial arts. caught a nice counter there from Sato on the jab. But Muhammad really believes he's ready to challenge that welterweight top 10 and is hoping to produce a result that will lead to that opportunity tonight. Nice left hook lands from Muhammad over the top.
Right hand of the body, left hook over the top. Sato reading that left uppercut. It's a good read. Muhammad does change levels a lot. He drops his head to set up the double leg and to set up the overhand right. So that left uppercut for Sato will be there as the fight moves on if he's timing it. Especially the way he's throwing that lead jab out. Once Muhammad does slip his head to the inside and outside and set up that uppercut as well.
Beautiful left hand lands for Belal Muhammad.
3 times, and because he's going to the body first, so it sets up the left hand. It's very nice by Muhammad on that one.
Muhammad training side by side with Paul Felder and several other UFC fighters over the last 2 months. Nice jab there from Sato.
And he steps through with the overhand left and it lands. He's got Sato hurt. One thing about Sato though is the durability is going to be there. And there's the double leg. He's going to lock the hands, look to take the back here. It's really hard to take guys down from this position unless you just throw them right away from the fence. You throw them right on their head because they're not on the hands. And there it is right there. Separates.
Beautiful jab there from Takashi Sato. He's got UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman in his corner tonight.
Sato reads the left hook on that one finally. Ate about 4 of them before he read it. Let's see if Belal can continue to land them. Ouch.
Right in front of us, that snaps Sato's head back.
Nice jab.
Belal Muhammad 9-0 pre-UFC before making his debut in 2016. A fight of the night with Alan Jouban, survived 3 knockdowns that night. Vicente Luque, the only man to finish Belal Muhammad. Sorry to cut you off there, John.
All good. You always got good info, John.
Nice short right hand from Belal Muhammad. If there's been any knock on Muhammad, it's just that the finishes haven't necessarily piled up, but he has been very entertaining every step of the way in his UFC run.
Keeps a very high offense, and a lot of times it's with his wrestling. That's why he doesn't maybe necessarily have a ton of finishes, but he gets his opponents very tired. He wears on them, and then he starts to land the big punches after that.
A lot of people have wanted a piece of Belal Muhammad here in Abu Dhabi this week. He has handled all of those requests with his usual grace. Nice entry on the double leg, and he slams Takashi Sato down.
And that's what he does super well, is he times his double legs and he gets these positions and he rides people out in these rounds. Kills the clock, does a little, softens him up real well, and then goes for the finish in the later rounds. But right now, that was a good timing on that double leg.
Muhammad, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt under Daniel Vanderlei, has yet to win a pro fight by submission. Some nice elbows from Belal Muhammad to close out the first round.
Big left hand lands from Muhammad there. And that's his best weapon so far because he sets it up by going to the body first. when you put two together, right there, Sato lands a good counter right as well, but that left hook, and then this double leg at the very end, finishes strong. Takes the back, throws the hooks in, controls. That's how you want to finish the round. You don't get the drop.
Round two here, Belal Muhammad in green, Takashi Sato in red. Duke Roufus certainly liked what he saw from his pupil in round one.
I love the way Sato throws his punches. He doesn't really load on them. They just kind of come out, and that's why they've been landing. The jab's been landing a lot. That left hand landed very clean for Sato.
Yeah, great footwork, very light on his feet.
Does probably want to keep that right hand high, though. That left hook is landed over and over for Belal.
Nice job by Sato to sniff out that takedown attempt from Muhammad. Beautiful work there, body head by Muhammad.
Nice combo there. Well, now he's adding to that left hook, adding the right hand behind because Sato's reading the left hook a little better, but still, I think Muhammad's best read so far is that left hook could put Sato down, as you're seeing there. It's coming close, and he just keeps that right hand floating out so far because he likes that jab so much. That's why the jab lands a lot, but also that's why Belal's doing the hook.
Muhammad landing 8% clip with his strike attempts thus far. Shot from way out there. Now has the back of Sato's able to drag him down briefly. Coming up on 3 minutes to go here, round two.
Nice kilo throw there from the overhook for Sato.
A little swelling underneath the left eye of Muhammad. Body head combination again from Belal Muhammad. We've also seen a definite physical maturity out of Takashi Sato dating to his Pancrase days. Sato corner calling for him to cut Muhammad off. Muhammad switching up the footwork, going southpaw there for a moment. Muhammad continues to be the busier guy, and he puts a pace on him.
He does, and that's, there's a lot of people say he doesn't have the finishing like we had mentioned earlier, John, but the pace that he keeps is what wins him these fights. He's constantly being offensive. He's constantly going. He doesn't really, even if he gets tagged, he keeps taking chances, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And that big right hand landed partially on the shoulder, nearly caught Sato flush. Under 90 seconds here to go round two. As we show you the numbers on the distance strikes. Pretty good, although Muhammad a touch more efficient.
Nice left straight, yeah, down the pipe.
One of his better strikes of the fight. Now he rips the body and hits a right hand.
So he looks for the left uppercut because the hand has come back. It allows him to land a nice overhead right. Taking the low kick, but the movement behind him is really bothering him.
Yeah, you got the nervous, don't increase the heavyweight. And climbing
Oh no.
Well, you saw the speed of that shot. Yeah, it's hard. It's shot very fast. There he is, back down again, too easy. So Blades adding to that record total of takedowns in this
No.
heavyweight division. 2 for 2 thus far. About a minute gone by. Blades is UFC tested, man. He's been in a lot of tough UFC environments, fighting Mark Hunt in Australia. Had a win over Alistair Overeem back in June of 2018. He has become one of his primary training partners now. Nice job by Abdurakhimov to fight hands. In Abdurahkimov's corner, because they know that as he tries to close the distance, he runs the risk of getting planted on his rear end again.
He's got very good footwork and movement. That uppercut right there. He's got the advantage on the feet. In my opinion, he does. But Blades, man, the way that he shoots like that, they're just fast shots, and they're very powerful when he gets inside.
Third takedown for Curtis Blades.
Cover his hips right there. So Shamil has to really get on the hands, get his hip to the fence. But what's making it tough is Blades always controlling the hands, he's always controlling the wrist. So the second you try to get your base underneath you, he puts you on your face. And then once you get your hands underneath you, he hooks your legs. So it's just back and forth, high-low with the grappling, how he does. Now he's got to hook in, and now you got to carry his weight all the way up again while he's got the crossbar. Exhausted. And it's hot.
That too. Some of the little nuances to control wrists and hands that is lost on a lot of people in this match.
Hand control is key. And this is basically D1 college wrestling right here, just in a nutshell. Except you can shoot and punch at the same time. He's having a lot of fun right now at the Blades. This is his style fight right here. This is where he doesn't feel threatened at all.
And of course, he trains at altitude. His cardio is outstanding. And despite the fact that Blaydes doesn't cut weight, right, that he is well below that 266-pound limit, very strong, deceptively so, I think.
And I think it makes him quicker too, the fact that that he's lighter at this heavyweight.
Shamil Abdurakhimov, also another guy who comes in below that heavyweight limit. Oh, with authority.
Back down again. And Shamil slowly saying, come on, man. Get off my wrist, please. He's looking for a Kimura here. He keeps going to that, but it's not really going to get him up. He needs to worry about the hands, getting on the hands and getting his back up against the fence. It's a Shamil.
A nice right hand from Curtis Blaydes. And it'd be really interesting if he developed into a submission threat. No wins by submission in his career. Actually hasn't even attempted one in the UFC yet. But if he can add that layer to his game.
I agree. You're exactly right. That's just the next dynamic of growth for Blaydes, I believe. But he's the game of attrition. My game is to just wear you down until you quit. My wrestling coach always said to me, it takes a man to hold another man on his back. And right here, we're seeing him just get beaten.
Big ground strikes here. Oh, big elbow there. Final seconds of the round.
And see, he waited for this.
Wow. Hard to hear that horn, but Marc Goddard heard it. Round one is done. I'm not even sure Abdurakhimov knows if it's a stoppage or if the fight is continuing.
Four big takedowns, and you see him change levels and stuff right through the takedown defense. Shamil, like nothing, just cuts right through it. Straight to the hip bump, back down to the floor. There's three right here, number three. Gets back up, and here's number four. Four takedowns in the first round. It's a high pace right there. And what you see is then he goes to better the position and really start the ground and pound once he gets the early fight with Shamil. Very smart tactic. Look at the light feet. Shamil early. And he knows he's got to land early. And that's what he's looking for. Nice uppercut.
Yeah.
And now he's got his knees together and he's on his butt.
Dump. 5 for 5. Curtis Blaydes now on his takedown attempts. And I'd imagine some frustration sets in. I mean, you try to mentally get above it, but nothing easy about this matchup.
Yeah, it's hard to say whether you want to punch to defend or if you want to back up and be ready for the shot to defend. I think the best key for Shamil is you got to move forward on Blaydes. If you let Blaydes move forward on you, it hasn't been working so far.
Blaydes has worked, really hard to round up and shore up his ground and pound attack. Certainly put it on Alistair Overeem about a year ago, but to really be more efficient and accurate when he loads up on the ground strikes.
He looks super heavy on top, as you're seeing here. I mean, just makes you carry all his weight. Just hangs on you and keeps kneeing and elbowing. He's better in his position each round. He keeps getting a little bit deeper into the position more. Meaning mount. He's always looking for mount now. In the beginning, he wasn't. He was okay with just letting Shamil work his way up to his feet. Now he's got half guard, and you'll start to see him land big shots in the ground and pound now as Shamil gets some of the fight out of him.
Three and a half minutes here to go in the round.
It's a 2-on-1 hand control right there, and just basic wrestling right here. Hook the back leg. Big shots are landing now. Shamil's just like, man, get off of me. Hands trapped, so he can't defend it. He wants to stand up, but he can't because he needs his hands, and that's the problem. Shamil's not getting to the problem. The problem is the hand control, and Blaydes is just better at it right now than Shamil.
Already nearly 6 minutes of top position time for Curtis Blaydes, who mixed in a nice elbow there. And that's the end of the fight. Marc Goddard had seen enough. Curtis Blaydes, your winner by TKO. Oh, Shamil Abdurakhimov just got busted wide open. And that's what Marc Goddard saw that maybe we didn't.
big elbow landed and just split him wide open. I mean, that is a lot of blood and a lot of power that he ate to the face. Not fun. I think that was a good stoppage for sure. That looks like it hurts.
So Shamil Abdurakhimov is wearing it. He provided little to no challenge to the heavyweight contender Curtis Blades tonight. Blades came in number 4 in the world, now 7-2 in UFC.
Oh, gosh, that was hard. And that was the perfect elbow. I mean, he opened his hand and it was the tip of his elbow that just landed right on the bridge of the nose here. Look how he hits it with the tip. Ooh, and it slides by the nose.
Yep.
That is the worst elbow you can eat right there, ladies and gentlemen. And you see him grab his nose immediately because it's pretty much shattered.
And once Mark Goddard saw that Abdurakhimov had grabbed his nose, when you're grabbing your nose, you're not intelligently defending yourself. And of course,
Nasty,
stoppage came shortly
nasty elbow.
thereafter, yeah.
Jeez. I mean, that's just painful. If you've ever had your nose broken, you can't see. You immediately pretty much go blind for a second, and then your whole face feels like it gets lit on fire.
To make this one official, here's Bruce Buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 22 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Curtis Razor Blades.
This next bout, a matchup that really jumped off the card for a lot of people. Combat Sambo world champ Islam Makhachev has barnstormed his way to 5 straight wins, a 6-1 UFC record. Tonight, though, an interesting challenge on his hands in the 2015 Abu Dhabi Combat Club champion and BJJ black belt, Davi Hamosh. First came to Abu Dhabi to train and compete back in 2011. You can expect him to be submission hunting as usual here tonight. All right, a lot of intrigue for this next fight. Let us get to it. Fulfilling his promise in one of the toughest divisions in MMA, Islam Makhachev can take another step forward if he can hold off the charge of one of Brazil's best, Davi Hamosh. Well, he has crashed into the lightweight top 15, but Islam Makhachev isn't satisfied. He's only more ambitious to keep the momentum going in the 155-pound Shark Tank. And he gets that chance tonight when he meets up with Brazilian submission whiz, Davi Hamosh.
I'm excited fighter because I can beat my opponent, knock out my opponent, and smash my opponent.
It's a big mistake to fight me, you know, because his style is not that good against my style, you know. So let's see.
Long expected to do big things in the UFC even before he got here, Islam Makhachev has delivered on all counts thus far, going 6-1 in the octagon with finishes of Gleison Tebow and Cajun Johnson, as well as a fight of the night decision over Arman Sarukian in April that has him ready for Davi Hamosh.
He have very good jiu-jitsu, but I don't think his jiu-jitsu better my Sambo.
A decorated grappler whose reputation on the mat preceded him into the octagon. Davi Hamosh has won his last 4 UFC bouts, 3 of them by submission. And after pining for one of the top contenders in the division, ask and you shall receive, as he gets one tonight in this face-off with Islam Makhachev.
If they can work his style against my style, you know, I'm a grappling guy, I'm a regional grappling guy, and then it's gonna be very hard for him.
At 155 pounds, your tail to take for Makhachev versus Hamosh. Hamosh is an older man by 5 years. Makhachev taller by 4 inches. He will have a slight half-inch reach advantage. A lot of Makhachev support in this building. Davi Hamosh trying to mute the Abu Dhabi masses here. Makhachev is in red. Davi Hamosh is in black. Opens with an early kick to the body.
That left high kick is one of Makhachev's best weapons. He lands it very well, especially on a southpaw. It's going to be there.
former combat sambo world and European champion, really has plus skills everywhere, though, if you watch the film. Outstanding jab, good in the clinch, opportunistic submission game, knockout power. But Ramos, as soon as he had accomplished that goal in 2015, there's the first takedown attempt on Ramos. But Ramos in 2015 immediately shifted his focus to the UFC, and he is off to a long start in the big show. Ramos has worked so hard to try to close that gap between his grappling and his striking. Said he can't be the UFC champion with just jiu-jitsu, but certainly got hands and he has power.
I like to see Ramos use similar tactics as Ferreira. I mean, he can throw whatever he wants because a lot of people don't want to take him down. So keep the offense high, keep the pressure high. That'll shut down the kicks of Makhachev, and then look for your takedown or have Makhachev take him down.
Pro fight for Ramos. He has never been finished as an MMA pro, and he's trained a lot in Russia, so very comfortable with this Abu Dhabi backdrop tonight. Is that a breeze? I just felt that can't be a breeze.
That was from the left hand that just landed Makhachev right there. That's what you felt. That was fast and it was hard, and it hit right on the button. And the longer Ramos waits on Makhachev, it's going to be a long night for him. He needs to be first and needs to not be waiting to counter.
Crowd chanting for Islam Makhachev.
That's one thing that Ramos does do is he's got very good counter ability. So when you fire, he'll throw a 3-4 piece combination. But a lot of times he's just waiting. And so is Makhachev. And that's what we're seeing right now. They're waiting on one another, looking to counter each other.
Makhachev to the body, then retreats.
So far, it's been one strike at a time from these guys, and combinations really step things up and make things a little different.
Side leg kick for Makhachev. Ramos counters.
You see, once you touch him, Ramos throws almost every single time. But if you don't go first, he almost waits. But you touch him, and he'll go right away. Now Makhachev mixing in the fakes, and that'll offset the counters of Ramos.
Ramos keeping that guard high. Crowd sort of waiting with bated breath for that Makhachev land. Coming up on 30 seconds to go here in round one. Ramos unofficially just 2 for 20 on his strike attempts thus far.
Together in the first round, the guys haven't thrown 20 strikes yet, really. About 50 total, so 25, excuse me. But the offense has been very low, and they're really just waiting on one another, looking to counter each other. Counter versus counter.
Ramos appeared to land a right hand partially a moment ago. 5 minutes down. It is UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier, Nurmagomedov's teammate, Islam Makhachev, the number 15 ranked lightweight in the world, trying to continue his ascent by turning back Davi Ramos. Makhachev, the slightly busier and more effective striker in round one. Here's round two.
And I love Ramos' corner saying you got to be first. I couldn't agree more. He's got to quit waiting and just go, let his hands go and be first.
Ramos immediately counters with a flurry after Makhachev landed high.
He almost waits on you to go before he goes. It's like, give one, take one, give one, take one. And if Ramos just is the first to go, things might change up.
Looked like Ramos was in a pretty good position to get a takedown, but not against someone like Makhachev. Makhachev absolutely deadly in that clinch setting. About a minute gone by here in round 2. Makhachev lands to the body. So both fighters have attempted just one takedown through the first nearly 7 minutes. Makhachev starting to press forward, working off that jab out of the southpaw stance.
And we said it in the earlier fight where you get two strikers, in the very first fight of the night, you get two strikers, a lot of times you see them grapple each other because they don't want to go against each other's strength. And here it looks like two grapplers that don't want to go against each other's strength, so they're having a striking match. And it's just the way it goes sometimes. Neither of them wants to give an inch, and so they end up just not doing too much. Nice counter by Makhachev. And now Makhachev getting off a little bit, being used a little bit more. Nice jab by Ramos. He's got power, and that's why he likes to wait. If he connects, he knows he can knock you out. Very patient.
Makhachev seemed to recover with immediacy, but a moment there for Ramos. And there's that Ramos jab again. Keeping Makhachev honest. Beautiful handwork there by Makhachev. So when you're preparing for a fellow counter-striker, I imagine you're expectant that you might get into some of these scenarios where there's a lot of feeling out, a little bit of a staring contest.
Yeah, that's right. And what you can do in those situations is you can double up on the feints and then the counter's not there because they can't tell they're being offensive. And the fakes aren't there for these guys, so that's what's happening.
Makhachev landed a big right hand a moment ago while backing up. Ramos a little bit bloody now. Oh, big knee from Makhachev.
Makhachev is just getting ahead on the big strikes landed by far. He's touched Ramos' nose. No cuts yet. I don't know. I can't see a cut yet, but I think the nose is busted for sure. Ramos is just waiting a little too much. He needs to be first, and that would really help him out. The same as Fajeda. If Fajeda fought this style as well, just waited, it would be tough against his opponent, Tyson. But he went first all the time to keep Tyson. Ramos, he's waiting on Makhachev.
And Islam starting to landing nearly his total strikes, mixing it up well.
I think he's going to go for takedowns. I figured he was and that's what we've seen pretty much.
Ramos presses forward, managed wrist down the stretch in the third. Final 10 of the good round for the Russian.
So the most significant punch was that hook, jab hook looking punch that almost there was like a mix of the two. And it kind of rocked Makhachev, but the accumulation of left hand is really adding up.
Davi Ramos was super excited when he heard that Islam Makhachev had accepted this fight. Now we'll see what the Brazilian Ramos can do over these final 5 minutes.
Oh, he gets him with the knee. And he hits him.
Huge knee. Ramos trying to recover.
Oh, big punches. Huge punches landed. These guys are going after it right now. Makhachev wants that finish. Ramos is able to get himself a little bit together, get the overhooks, buy himself some time. That's what that lock on his legs are doing. He's trying to get himself back together.
And now, even though a bit compromised, we are on the ground where Davi Ramos doesn't mind being.
Yeah, and it was a big knee in the clinch that lands when Ramos was moving forward. That hurt him. Keeping Ramos' head up against the fence is a real smart tactic because the way it's hard to move your hips there. And you can't use armbar techniques or triangle techniques. It really shuts things down to a minimum here.
Cardio, outstanding. Certainly been very accurate with these ground strikes thus far.
Islam pressuring his hips, keeping very tight. Almost looks like he's got himself back together though.
Makhachev staying active, continuing to work on Davi Ramos here on the ground. 2.5 minutes now to go in this third and final round.
If you're ever going to be on the ground with Ramos, you're going to want to keep his head up against the fence, just like Makhachev's doing. Smart game plan. Fence, he can't move his hips, can't really dig underhooks. And Ramos is good with staying on his back and not getting to his feet right here. So, Islam's happy to oblige.
3 times Ramos has been warned for interlocking his toes or fingers in the fence.
Good pressure by Islam, keeping the legs out of the equation. And right here, this is a nice way to go for an armbar here. He tries to get the balance off, but the fence being there just really changes things. Plus, it's so slippery and hot, so they're so sweaty. Very hard to get arm bars, especially in the last minute and a half after the damage has been inflicted.
But it shows you how confident Makhachev is, more than willing to engage Ramos in this realm at this stage of the fight. We certainly know about Makhachev's ground credentials.
I think when he's chose to do it is the key.
Exactly.
It's really smart that he waited till this third round. And right here, almost using his knees to get knee. Now he's got his legs in there. Creating some space, getting away from the fence would really help him, I think.
Appreciative crowd for these two warriors as we hit the final minute of the fight. Co-main event to follow. Crowd once again vocal in its support of Islam Makhachev. And you gotta think if he wins tonight, likely to draw somebody else in that lightweight top 15.
And what's so different about this fight scenario than a jiu-jitsu match is the fence. I mean, you can't move your hips. There's no space to create sweep scenarios. There's no he's looking for arm bars from here, but because the fence is behind, he can't really move the way he wants to create the sweep scenarios as well. So just really limits you when your head's there.
Some conversation was going on there, not sure exactly what. Final seconds of the fight. Islam Makhachev looking to put the finishing touches on what would be his 7th UFC win in 8 tries. Outstanding effort from the Dagestan native Islam Makhachev.
Guys, let it hang out. They did the best they could in this matchup. And smart to wait until the 3rd round to go to the ground. Very good tactics. Nice uppercut, left straight, down the pipe. Lands from Islam. And then you see that jab land on Islam's way in. This left hand lands on the nose. Ouch. You see the blood squirt out of that one. He was the best shot of the whole fight. But back, and he's able to follow it up with down right here. Big shots landed. Keep his face up against the fence the rest of the 3rd round. You know, control.
Well, Davi Hamosh obviously with those scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judges score the contest 29-27, 30-26, and 30-26. By unanimous decision, Islam
Edson Barboza has a highlight with anyone in the sport. Of course, has been his strength of schedule. No let up tonight as he gets the best from one of his former casualties, Felder, the Rupa Sport rep. Believes he is primed to make gold to keep that dream intact. Felder will have to Barboza puzzle in his 2nd attempt. Been begging for top competition. Big opportunity in front of him here tonight as he takes on the 7th-ranked Edson Jr. Barboza. And certainly no surprise, Paul Felder has said this is the biggest fight of his career. And it comes against a familiar foe who is about as UFC tested as it gets.
21,000 UFC, it's a long career. I'm still motivated like my first fight in UFC.
I've been in the UFC a while now. It's crazy to think about, and I'm only fighting because I still love it, and I want to try to get that belt.
Barboza and Felder. Here we go.
Well, the first fight with Edson, 10-0, 2-0 in the UFC. I just didn't think I could be beaten. It was my first real big step up in competition, and I think we brought the best out of each other.
Oh man, that is just beautiful. Boy, these guys are exchanging.
In my first fight against Paul was fight of the night.
15 minutes of smashing our bodies. I crushed his face. My leg was raw meat by the end of it. My ribs were purple.
This is a wild fight, just as wild as we expected. Oh man! Paul Felder, Edson Barboza, entertain all here in attendance.
Edson Barboza.
Great fight. Disappointed Paul Felder defeated for the first time ever.
I got backstage, I broke down, I was crying. I had not had to handle that yet in my professional career, but we get to run it back. So the stage is set for this one to be redemption.
He's a different guy, I'm a different guy too. That's making me very excited, you know, because I know it's gonna be a great fight.
Technical grit is how I fight. But when it comes down to a fist fight, if you punch me in the face, I want to get you back and I want to knock you out cold.
I'm a different.
So, if you like mixed martial arts and you like kickboxing, me and Edson bring it.
Oh! Spinning back fist, he's out. Wow!
Oh! Edson Barboza does it again!
Don't blink. If you blink, you're probably gonna miss one of the best knockouts in UFC history.
I think it's going to be the same battle, the same back and forth, gritty, stand-up kickboxing war. It just gives me kind of chills even thinking about it now that it's all happening all over again. But you're going to see Paul Felder get his hand raised.
100%, it's gonna be the best fight of my career. I know I wanna win again.
All right, the co-main event is upon us. Let us get you the tail of the tape for this rematch. 4 years in the making. Edson Barboza, 33. Paul Felder is now 35. Both fighters 5'11" tall. Barboza will enjoy a pronounced reach advantage. Paul Felder, undefeated as a lightweight since training under Duke Roufus. He is in the blue trunks. Edson Barboza is in yellow. Early spinning attack from Paul Felder. Some late money coming in on Felder. So this fight closing close to a pick'em in a lot of spots in Las Vegas and beyond. Edson Barboza with an early leg kick.
And already, I mean, 2 adjustments to the calf kick is just fire the spinning back fist. You don't even see that. You usually just eat it, and then that's it. But he's eating it and coming forward, and that's the difference already. But the kicks of Barboza are just so fast already. Felder knew these calf kicks were coming. We talked about it. So I'll be curious to see if he can get the timing on it, keep that shin turned out, not eat too many of those calf kicks.
Good left hand for Paul Felder, moving forward with his patented angry face on fight knife. Loaded up on that right hand, unable to land it.
Look for an elbow walking into the clinch. Going very, very hard early.
Both fighters with a lot of strength in these clinch situations. Watch out for those short Paul Felder elbows. Now you see him think about the takedown. Barboza wise to it. And I know in talking to Barboza's jiu-jitsu coach, Bahumpa, they welcome the takedown here tonight if it comes. They've been working hard on a lot of submission offense.
And I think that Felder got cut. Seen some blood from somewhere, I'm not sure who yet. His nose cut.
So keep an eye on the nose of Paul Felder as he hits the body there. Barboza counters over the top. Some swelling around that right eye of Edson Barboza already. Man, these guys are swinging with fight-ending intentions here. About 2 minutes gone in round 1. There's that calf kick from Felder, a huge weapon for him in his last win against James Vick back in February.
And he said he needed to eat some shots and keep the pressure going like we're seeing right here. He said Barboza doesn't like the pressure, so even if I eat some early, I gotta keep pressuring forward. And it's a smart game plan, but right now, Barboza's speed is just incredible. Those
Another
kicks.
nice kick to the body for Edson Barboza.
Checks the second one. That'll make you second guess those kicks. They're already hit each other so hard.
And now Felder dealing with some blood in his eye. Maybe a cut on the hairline.
And the big difference so far too is that Felder's kind of loading on his strikes really to throw really, really hard. And Barboza's not loading at all.
Felder acknowledging that that cut was courtesy of the headbutt.
Headbutts are not a game. I mean, when you eat one of those, and these guys respect each other, so they don't want to win off an illegal headbutt, but
Felder had a fight stopped due to a cut against Francisco Trinaldo back in 2016. There's the headbutt. Felder was leading in with the head, and there's the clash. Certainly inadvertent. A lot of respect between these two guys. They ended up briefly sparring partners after their first encounter. The whole time Paul Felder felt like he was eventually going to probably fight Edson again, and here we are.
Goodness, that left hook lands heavy for Barboza. He's just got the speed advantage in this first round.
A lot of people felt like for Felder to maybe take away that speed advantage of Barboza, if he could get a takedown, tire him out early in the fight, perhaps that could change the complexion of things.
how we've seen Barbosa beat pretty much the main way. I mean, it's not like anybody's just out striking him. So they usually mix in the takedowns and then land the big punches. But toe-to-toe, it's hard to out-kickbox in that first round. And that lands hard. That's like a bat hitting there. Very, very hard. Fast punches and kicks.
1 minute now to go round one. Some early adversity for Paul Felder, at least in terms of the blood.
We got a headbutt and a busted nose from a jab. Barbosa landed a jab early that busted Felder's nose. And the headbutt cut him on the right side.
But not a bad idea for Felder to sort of protest loudly for everyone to hear that it was a headbutt, make the judges aware.
Agreed.
Oh my god, dude, this game.
Attention, although he shook it off.
Felder said, I know I'm gonna have to eat some shots in the first, and I'm gonna have to
This
walk
game, man.
himself a hated dude. And that's what he's doing right now. He's having to walk forward, weather the storm, and then get to it. See how he's heading off. Barbosa getting that pressure that he said. He said Barbosa doesn't like the pressure, and we're seeing that. You're seeing Barbosa move more and more.
Rufus wanting Paul to continue to press forward, which he does. Nice job by Barbosa to raise the guard.
You see here the low kick, the calf kick early was a big weapon just to kind of slow things down, and the headbutt, that hurts. That's never fun. Can't really stop those sometimes, and right here this jab, that's what busts the nose. And then another headbutt after that jab, that could have hit his nose as well. Body kicks are so fast. Rufus wants him to fire back off the strikes of Barbosa, but I feel like he's throwing them so quick that it's hard to counter.
Nice job by the cut man to clean up the Irish Dragon, Paul Felder. Nice left hand from Felder.
He's letting his hands go, and that's where it's going to be key for him, is at the boxing range. How fast those left kicks are, it's incredible.
It's amazing how quick he gets his foot off that canvas to the target.
I mean, to throw two kicks like that at that speed and Felder can't fire back, it's so quick.
Beautiful spinning heel kick for Barbosa, again attacking the body of Paul Felder.
Felder's showing how incredibly tough he is moving forward, knowing I gotta keep pressing, I gotta keep Barbosa on the heels, and gotta keep eating these shots until I get him tired.
Felder about as tough as it comes, grew up in a hardened Irish Catholic neighborhood environment in South Philly. His older brother Tommy in the building to support him tonight.
Easily one of the toughest guys I've ever met, Paul Felder. You don't want to be tough in these fights, but you could definitely use it against Barbosa. And that left hook got Barbosa thinking. Nice double leg.
Thinking so much that he landed the takedown.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, the difference in these guys. When is the last time you seen Barbosa time a takedown like that? And it was very nice, too. He was getting cut with those elbows, and I think that punch really hurt Barbosa. He's recovering right now.
Yeah, looks like maybe Barbosa got cut open pretty significantly. Oh, yeah. So one of those elbows from the bottom from Felder, and there's another one for good measure. So Felder trying to stay active off of his back here.
The damage that these guys have inflicted on each other already in 7 minutes is just not a lot of people could handle it. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, the expectation was for some blood, plenty of it early. You hear Duke Lucas, Daniel Vanderlei calling for a tomahawk elbow from Felder.
Feet on the hips from Felder to land those elbows is something nice. Armbar, that's in there. See if Barbosa crowds it well, and if Felder can do something with it. His arms aren't completely locked. It's a tough position to finish it from, because you see the space between the elbow of Barbosa and Felder's chest. That's what's going to make it hard to finish here, especially slippery.
And again, Barbosa thought about grappling him. He's now dealing with a lot of blood in both eyes. Just over 2 minutes now to go round two. Last time Barbosa secured a takedown against Gilbert Melendez, 2016.
And we're seeing the pressure just slow down Barbosa just enough, and Paul Felder's starting to land more. His hands are landing more and more.
Both men figure to be sore tomorrow.
These guys are both incredible. It's amazing to watch them fight. I mean, I could watch them fight forever. I'm sure they wouldn't like it, though. Nice counter hook from Barboza. And it's just, right now, Paul Felder's trying so hard to throw such big power in his punches that Barboza's able to hit him on the counter every now and then.
Got
Be a
two
little
huge
quicker.
welts, Dom, behind the right ear of Paul Felder, and another one on the left side. But a nice land to the body there by the Irish Dragon. Slight edge in terms of these significant strikes landed for Barboza, but Paul Felder with the total strike advantage.
That left kick is really fast, and it just keeps landing for Barboza all night.
Felder asked his corner after round one who had won the round. It was close. He's inflicted a lot of damage in this second round.
I would say that Felder probably has the advantage with his hands in the boxing range, and Barboza's doing really well keeping Felder at kick range and utilizing his kicks. Nice double timing. Just didn't get his hands clapped, and Barboza did a good job keeping his hips underneath him.
Great job by the athletic Edson Barboza to work his way to the fence. See if Felder bails or tries to get the level change here. Come up on the final 10 seconds of the round.
And you know, Felder's fighting an extremely good fight. I need everybody to know that. It's just Barboza's just edging out with the speed a little bit, and just very, very sharp as well.
10 minutes down, technically 25 minutes down between these two. 5 to go.
Right here, you see Barboza get hurt, and then a nice... Felder wasn't really ready for that, I don't think. He was coming forward to hurt him, and then that elbow right there cuts Barboza. Nice right hand by Felder there. And then a right hand by Barboza. That's pretty much the story of the fight.
Emotional moment there for Duke Roufus. A huge 5 minutes in front of these two lightweight warriors now. Barboza in yellow, Paul Felder in blue. The Barboza corner seems to think they have banked 2 rounds. 1-1, we'll see. Heavy shots exchanged in the pocket there.
Oh, gets him with the right hand. I like what they're saying. You got to throw combinations. We cannot eat shots and not return. In Felder's corner, and they're exactly right. In the difference. Nice right hand to the body.
Felder would appear to be the fresher fighter. Barboza still moving very well, though.
Well, he's heading him off better now, you're seeing. He's not really following him the same. Now he's heading him off.
Barboza against the body, and you can hear that Felder corner. Press forward. He does so there. Landed the right and then the left. Oh, nice crack there. Good shot from Paul Felder.
How these guys take damage, it's just crazy. They've eaten some heavy shots, and they just keep going. Nice jab. It's been landing for Felder in this third round. Oh, good timing on that right hand off the jab of Felder.
Barboza again attacks the body after landing a jab. Nice attack from Felder, punctuated by a big left hand.
Those are the combinations that Roufus is asking for. Fire more than 1 punch, more than 2 at a time, and he does really well when he throws 3 punches and more.
Oh, spinning back fist lands for Barboza. Crowd reacts. Barbosa's forward, unable to land with that left hook. Less than 3 minutes now to go.
And you gotta always watch Barbosa too, moving backwards, because he sets up a lot of his techniques moving back. Spin attacks, the spinning back kicks, everything. He almost gets you thinking he's moving back, and then he's so quick off that back leg. Pulls you into his strikes. Nice footwork by Barbosa there.
Beautiful heel kick lands again for Barbosa. Nice jab from Felder.
Felder knows he's got to get some real damage and has to drop Barbosa in this third round. Otherwise, it's going to be tough.
61-57 in terms of the significant strikes. Slight edge for Barbosa there.
It's close. These guys are going back and forth. And just the way that Felder ate that spin attack by spinning back, those little tiny inches is what's keeping this fight going. That's how sharp these guys are.
Left hand over the top for Felder.
Nice, he's landing the big punches, moving forward.
And Duke Roufus's voice is done. The message remains the same, the command to move forward. Almost 2 minutes now to go in the co-main event.
What a show these guys are putting on.
Man, insane. Felder starting to land at a greater clip here with the hands. Barbosa has been the more efficient striker statistically tonight. Nice jab from Felder.
Yeah, it's his best weapon for sure in this fight, and it's landing hard. Those hurt. And he switches to the hook. Good read. The hands of Barbosa, or excuse me, the hands of Felder are beating Barbosa right now in this third. Gotta keep the pressure just like that.
Back to the clinch, just over a minute to go. See if Felder goes to those elbows now.
I don't know how they're gonna score this.
There are your significant strikes round by round. Felder with the advantage in round 3 after a slight edge to Barbosa in rounds 1 and 2.
I mean, we're talking by 3 strikes. They're outstriking each other. 2, 3 strikes. I think it's going to come down to significant strikes landed in this one, and maybe even that takedown of Barbosa. Good defense by Felder here. Last 20 seconds.
Paul Felder was the busier man, had a big third round. Late takedown from Barbosa, though.
And that's a big takedown right there at the end of this round to really seal the deal.
Felder got back to his feet.
Insane fight. Insane. These guys are just incredible.
So Paul Felder and Edson Barbosa have now fought each other for 30 minutes. That doesn't account for their sparring sessions together. But a grueling 15-minute affair in the co-main event between Barbosa and Felder.
That left kick was a huge weapon for Barbosa in the very beginning especially. Nice elbow attempt in the headbutt here really caused a big cut. And what you're seeing here is counter hook by Barbosa, and just a little bit of a load of Felder just misses it. And then underneath the jab of Felder after he hurts Barbosa, Barbosa gets this nice takedown, very clean. Elbow lands for Felder. And we'll see here the spinning back fist right on the chin. I mean, that hurt. You saw that hurt Barbosa a little, saw a little wobble, and nice jab hook all night was switching up for Felder.
All right, so here are the significant strike numbers. Very close, of course, in round 1 and round 2. Paul Felder started to pull away in that third and final round. Perhaps it will be enough to have secured the biggest win of his now 13-fight UFC career. Edson Barbosa and Paul Felder unable to finish one another despite a lot of effort on both sides tonight. The co-main event goes the full 15.
Man, if Felder wins, are we going to see it?
With the co-main event scorecards now. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Howie Bruce scores the contest 30-27, Barbosa. David Lefty scores it 29-28, Felder. And Maria Montecalvo
lot of big names, a lot of talent in this lightweight top five. But in about a half an hour, we will be down to just one undisputed UFC lightweight champion. And of course, when Khabib Nurmagomedov first defended this belt against Conor McGregor, he captured the attention of the entire sports world. Now, with heaps of pressure and expectation, his challenge will be the MMA lifer, the interim champion Dustin Poirier, in title defense number 2, which beckons here now.
Barboza's face. He's just so overwhelmed.
Not only has he won every fight, but he has only had a brief moment of adversity his entire career.
He never fight with someone like me.
Oh!
When I go to the cage, I have to crush my opponents.
Michael should tap or he's going to break his arm. He's going to break his arm. Roll over. What a display of dominance by Khabib Nurmagomedov.
In my opinion, he deserved this fight. I respect him like fighter, like human being, but when I go to the cage, I can't respect him. When fight beginning, I have to smudge this guy.
The underdog, that's been my whole life story. It's like a Rocky movie. I get to go out there and against all odds, show who I am as a person and a fighter, represent myself, my family, years of sacrifice and dreaming and chasing dreams.
It's time! Let's go!
I think he's not at my level.
I know I have what it takes. I'm headed to the top, and this is just part of my journey.
nobody can beat him. Nobody. Cage gonna close, I'm gonna maul him. Like always.
All right, our final order of business is here and now. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dustin Poirier, both 30 years of age. Born just 4 months apart. Khabib is the taller man by 1 inch. Dustin Poirier will try to maximize what is a 2-inch edge in reach. And now to get us started for this championship main event, the one and only Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our 3 judges scoring this contest in octagon side are Ben Carson, Mark Collette, and David Buckley. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Mark Donner. For those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. From the sold-out arena in Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Fighter holding a professional record, 25 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Lafayette, Louisiana, USA, presenting the interim UFC lightweight champion of the world, Dustin Diamond martial artist holding a perfect professional record. 27 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world, Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov!
Dustin, Khabib, you know exactly what I expect. I want you to fight hard, I need you to fight clean. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch, now's the time. God bless.
A lot of mutual respect between these two combatants. The only thing Khabib really took issue with was some of the promotion that was champion versus champion. He says, I am the champion, he is the interim champ, and Khabib is hoping to keep it that way in this epic main event clash tonight. Capacity crowd in this arena on Yas Island in anticipation of this UFC lightweight unification bout tonight.
Dustin, ready? Khabib, ready? Right.
And with that, we are underway. Khabib Nurmagomedov in the black and gold. Dustin Poirier is in the blue with gold. Nurmagomedov's striking has improved tremendously over the last 24 months or so. Had that knockdown against Conor McGregor, but in talking to Javier Mendez, they really feel like he's taking it to the next level. That being said, doesn't figure to lean on it too much tonight.
Right now, these guys are just filling each other out. Nothing too crazy going on, obviously. You should start pressuring soon, and You've seen Dustin just look for that calf kick pretty much so far. Keep his body on the outside, get that lead foot advantage.
Back-to-back fights against southpaw strikers for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Fast double leg. Then on a single leg, head on the inside. And this is where he does his best work. Once he gets a hold of that leg, he just moves to the top of your body and just keeps you squished up against the fence. This is where Dustin said he did a lot of work. We'll find out if it pays off.
So this is the first time that Poirier is feeling that famed Nurmagomedov pressure. And you see Poirier wide-eyed looking to his chief corner, Mike Brown, for some advice. Early takedown for Khabib.
And this is where he wants to be. This is where he beats everybody. He gets behind you underneath these arms, and he can just stay here for 5 minutes. It's hard to get him off you in this position. He'll beat your legs up with the knees, and then just make you carry his weight so you got nothing in you after.
Wow. Outstanding control by Nurmagomedov. Now transitions to the back of Dustin Poirier. Couple hooks in.
Poirier says, I know I'm going to be taken down. I just have to keep the scramble going. And the scramble is not going right now. It's tough.
Looks like Poirier got raked across the eye there a little bit by Nurmagomedov. Now working on a little bit of a neck crank, not under the chin.
That hurts, but it doesn't choke. It just makes things miserable. And that's what Khabib does so well, is he just makes things miserable for you. He hangs on your hands, beats you up, cranks your neck, keeps the pressure, makes you carry his weight. That's what we're seeing here. Poirier getting advice. Nurmagomedov just covering his face and looking to maul him.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the round. You see Nurmagomedov wisely trying to upset the breathing pattern of Poirier. Poirier, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, trying to turn into the choke here, Dom.
Yeah, he can't. It's not a choke. It's just nasty. It's just nasty. He makes it real nasty on you, Khabib. And that's what's happening right now. And see how he stays in that position no matter what, underneath both arms, and that's just not a fun position to be in if you're Poirier. Good job switching it around by him.
So Dustin back to his feet, lands a knee to the body of Nurmagomedov. But no separation for Poirier, which could prove problematic.
Well, he keeps getting behind his arms like that, and that's going to be an issue. And you see how he trips him. That's one of Khabib's best weapons, is he trips you while he's taking you down over and over. And he's attacking your legs with the front feet while he's attacking your upper body, and that's a big difference.
Right, the simultaneous attacks, the subtleties, the nuances.
And notice his head is always higher than his opponent, and that makes you carry his weight as well. There's the trips. Those are what make the difference, is that he trips you while he's punching you. A lot of guys aren't using that at the same time. Still behind the arms.
Khabib 3 for 4 on his takedown attempts thus far.
Nice switch, but it's not enough because he keeps the hands locked. And, you know, in wrestling, traditional wrestling, it's illegal to keep your hands locked. When you fight, that's why it's illegal in a wrestling match, because it's hard to get away.
Already north of 3 minutes of control time for Nurmagomedov. Poirier has really been put on the defensive early in this fight. Some nice ground strikes now from the champion. Oh, big elbow from Khabib. Poirier forced to squirm out. Nurmagomedov at his mauling best in round 1. Poirier threw just 6 significant strike attempts in that opening round. They want more offense here, and they want him fighting on a napkin in the center of the octagon.
And that's what he's got to do. He's got to get it respect with his hands early. Otherwise, Khabib can just keep wrestling him. But more than anything, they're saying, keep going for that switch that you're landing. It's working, but you got to keep the leg when you switch. You keep the leg, even if Khabib keeps his hands locked, at least it gives you some leverage. He's got Poirier thinking right now. Especially after that takedown.
Poirier backing up here, early round 2.
Nice
Poirier
right hand.
That back Nurmagomedov. Khabib on the retreat. hard to know the extent to which that hurt Nurmagomedov. Poirier loaded up on that right hand. Khabib able to avoid it.
Poirier got to throw like this. This is what he's got to do. He's got to get the respect.
Nice kick to the body by Poirier, and then he slipped. Poirier digs to the body there. Khabib counters to the inside of that lead leg of Poirier. Up against the fence.
I mean,
Takedown.
the speed on that double leg is just incredible. And that's a real difference in anything that people feel is how fast it should be.
What an atmosphere in this arena with every strike that is takedown that's secured. Incredible. Doing this every day for the rounds.
Right here, just in this position, you see Khabib just making Poirier carry all his weight, and it's just so tiring the way he hooks the leg and keeps your head. Takes so much out of it. He does well. Now he's got his legs hooked while he's
Poirier scooting to the fence. You see that leg control by Nurmagomedov.
And that's what I see the biggest difference with Khabib from most grapplers is he's using his hands and his legs at the same time. Most wrestlers are just using their upper body and their or they're just using their upper body and that's it. Both at the same time, and it gives them looks like Poirier has been cut open fairly significantly around that left eye. And a lot of times you see guys with their head is lower than the man up against the fence, but Khabib's generally higher than the guy on bottom, and that's making him carry the weight, and that's why he always ends up behind the back here.
Not sure what cut Poirier, but that is a significant cut and bothering him. Under 2 minutes here to go in round 2 of a possible 5. No room to breathe for Nurmagomedov.
See how he's hooking the ankles there. It just really offsets the hips, keeps you from being able to be strong up against the fence, and he'll keep going back and forth between hooking the ankles, going to a double leg, hooking the ankles up and down, up and down.
As Poirier focuses on the upper body fighting for an underhook, you get your leg cut out from under.
And then that gives him the upper body lock after you tripped.
We'll just wait a minute.
Unless you're Team Nurmagomedov, and most people in this arena are, he'll try to drag Poirier down again here.
His positioning is just literally pretty much flawless so far in the grappling in Khabib.
Nurmagomedov 5 for 6 on his takedown attempts thus far. We'll see if Poirier can get away from the fence here. No, unable to do so.
He's tired. It's exhausting carrying all this weight. He's doing more work than Khabib right now. And there's the trips, and it's just the back and forth battle of the trips and the upper body clinch that's just hard to deal with. When you go with good judo players, that's what it feels like. They're always tripping you, and then you lose your upper body balance and stability, and then you're just behind.
Oh, nice knee from Nurmagomedov. He has largely muted Dustin Poirier's offense through 10 minutes. 2-0 Khabib.
And huge right hand lands, as you saw. And that hurt. That made Khabib go, hey, hold on a second. But once he got himself together, it was right back to the normal game plan. Wrestle. And wrestle and wrestle. And that's the difference. Everybody, you can get guys to wrestle with you in camp, but when you're at the level of Khabib, there's not a lot of people that wrestle like that. So it's almost impossible to feel it.
frustration from Dustin Poirier on the stool there after round 2. See if he can get his hands going here in round 3. Just not quite quick enough. The guillotine's in, but it's not super tight yet. Now it's in. Dustin Poirier working on a guillotine here. Nurmagomedov staying composed. Gets him off him for a second, and he sticks to the guillotine to keep it, and that's in. That's in tight. But turning to a hip the way he's doing buys him some air. He sticks with it. Wow! Nurmagomedov pops his head out. Crowd goes bananas. And now Nurmagomedov knows how tired Dustin Poirier's arms are, and he gets right on the hand control. And this is what we saw to Curtis Blaydes earlier: is the hand control on the heavyweight. In the same position, the top leg position, and now his head's higher than Poirier's, so Poirier's got to get all that weight off him before he can get away. But first and foremost, he has to attack the hand control of Khabib. Listen, Khabib's father, Abdulmanap, right there. Proud to be in his son's corner tonight. Now, a possible... Nope, Nurmagomedov bails. It's enough to make it real ugly. It's just mean. Neck cranking you always right across your jaw. You can't breathe. It hurts your nose. And it's not really... That's in. That's in. Nurmagomedov under the chin. There's the top. Khabib Nurmagomedov. 28-0. Incredible. Absolutely incredible the way he dominates people in the grappling. You never see anything like it. And this
When the monsters of the middleweight division had become a thing of legend, one man began his quest to conquer, defeating all who stood before him.
Down goes Brunson! Robert Whittaker!
En route to becoming the UFC's first ever Australia champion. And it's all been leading to this.
Is lining up perfectly at the right time for him to begin his quest for the world heavyweight title.
I'm gonna go to the finish from soon the ring to the end. A lot of kicks, a lot of punch, and all gonna be full of bad intention.
Detail the tape. Top of 25. Yorgan de Castro 32. Both fighters 6 feet even. Both right on the nose, 265 pounds, and a 74-inch reach advantage on both sides.
And we're gonna make our way to the next sanctuary.
Most don't expect the scorecards to be needed for this one, but as they say, that's why you play the games. Justin Tafa and Yorgan de Castro. The southpaws in black, de Castro in red.
I'm dead here.
I mean, these big boys let it fly. Nice kick to the body by de Castro. Fighting runs through generations of Tafa's family. His grandfather was a national light heavyweight boxing champion. And actually one of his uncles fought Mark Hunt in K1 back in the day.
De Castro really trying to keep him close, pulling him in tight. He got hit with a big right hand to start the fight. Didn't like it. Wants to try to wear on Tafa a little bit before he allows him to get back to space.
De Castro maintains that overhook. Tafa continues to work the body here.
And De Castro holding an overtie like that is just to keep him tight. If he was trying to escape, he would be trying to dig underhook to get away from the side of the octagon. He's content here. Doesn't want to be at space yet.
It became hard for De Castro to find fights regionally. Ultimately, that Contender Series allowed him to get to this proving ground tonight against Tafa. Tafa minus 135. Yorgan de Castro, the slight dog, at plus 105.
Oh, nice uppercut there by Tafa.
Big deep breath from De Castro.
That was crazy. Holy smokes, he put him to sleep.
The celebration is on in Fall River, Massachusetts, and beyond in Cape Verde. A stunner here in Melbourne.
And Justin Tafa's still down. That was a massive, massive right hand by De Castro, put him out. You saw Tafa try to square up to enter and caught that big right hand on the way in.
And how respectful are these fans, by the way, acknowledging the Cape Verdean Yorgan de Castro. Let's get to the fight replay.
He tried to square up right there, switches his stance to try to land a big shot and walk right into that overhand right. Big walk-off knockout by De Castro. Boom, right on the chin. And you cannot take a strike like that from a guy that is that big. They both threw. De Castro was just a little bit straighter with his strike and put Tafa out. I mean, toes curled, arms straight. He's sleeping.
Well, you know, Mark Hunt's the king of the walk-off KO, and certainly hard for him to see his guy go down like that, but pretty good place for Yorgan de Castro to get a walk-off knockout of his own tonight as he stuns Justin Tafa with an early knockout. Wow. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jim Perdillos has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 10 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Jorgen the Mad Tyson Castro.
All right, well, coming up next, it'll be the welterweights, the Kiwi Luke Jumeau looking to make a statement against Mr. Congeniality, Diego Lima. New Zealand's Luke Jumeau has been bitten by the injury bug, which has temporarily halted his momentum. Tonight, though, he'll try to make it 3 wins in his first 4 UFC appearances, and he'll try to do so against the streaking Atlanta-based Brazilian Diego Lima. He has really come into his own of late. We will see if he can produce a 3rd consecutive welterweight win here in a matter of moments.
Declaring the winner by knockout, Jorgen the Mad Tyson Castro.
I wish I could recover for my opponent, and this is my time, and I born for this. Now I want my bonus, and I want to fight it in December again, because I want to change my family life, so I need to fight.
Jorgen de Castro!
His name is the Mad Tyson, but trust me, this man is only mad when he's in the octagon competing. He is a fantastic fighter. Great UFC debut. Big knockout. Unbelievable.
I'm thrilled. Jorgen works really hard. He did a phenomenal. We expected Tafa to come forward. We were expecting a war, and he's been working a lot on his timing and range. He's a great kickboxer, and that's what he showed tonight. Settled in and ready for the next step in his running career. New Zealand's Luke Jumeau.
Well,
a tough test ahead of him in the form of
sit here for a minute.
Diego Lima. With 2 UFC wins under his belt, Luke Jumeau has established himself as a fighter to watch in the welterweight division. And tonight, he has earned a shot at one of the most respected veterans in the division at present, Diego Lima.
I'm a complete fighter, wherever the fight goes, I'll be ready. And, there's some positions that he hasn't been tested yet, and I'm looking to test his whole game tonight.
Any fight with me is going to be a hard night, and I'm going to
New Zealand's Luke Jumeau just celebrated 2 years on the UFC roster earlier in 2019. And as he approaches this showdown with Diego Lima on the strength of an impressive win over Daichi Yabe, it's clear when the pressure is on, the 31-year-old is usually at his best.
Someone can go fight in this division. I've got power on both hands, and I believe in myself, and I will be a title contender one day.
A 2-time finalist on The Ultimate Fighter who won a remarkable 6 fights on the reality show over 2 seasons, Diego Lima wasn't able to translate that success into the octagon early on. But in his back-to-back wins over Chad Laprise and Court McGee, it is clear that Lima is entering his fighting prime.
My goal is to become a UFC champion. And, I know that takes time, and I'm willing to put in the work. I'm just going to keep beating everyone they put in front of me, and I'll get there.
We are ready to go with this one at 170 pounds. This scale the tape. Jumeau, 31. Diego Lima is 30. Lima, huge frame for this division. He is taller by 3 inches. He will also have a 3-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions. Back inside of the buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 16 wins, 11 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Diego Lima. That's now finishing his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 13 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Hamilton, Waikato,
Well,
New Zealand.
I'd rather have a broken leg than be dead, so I'll take it.
When the action
I
begins,
will
a
take it.
referee in charge.
Ready to go here, round one here at welterweight. Between a couple of guys with momentum, they are Diego Lima and Luke Jumeau. Jumeau in black, Diego Lima in white. Hard to penetrate that high guard of Diego Lima. Luke Jumeau will try to do just that.
Diego Lima's a big guy for the weight class, long, rangy. Jumeau's doing a good job of doing exactly what he said he needed to do. Try to build his way into the fight. You see him not just rushing, really taking his time, trying to find a path to which he wants to attack Diego Lima.
Outside leg kick is there for Jumeau. Sort of expected this type of pace early on.
He knew that Diego Lima's a guy that's not going to be reckless, and he had to match that type of fighting style if he wanted to be successful. And to this point, he's done it. I know we're only a minute in, but they're both showing a lot of respect towards each other. Nice little leg kick right there by Lima. It does take a minute. You can land those calf kicks over and over again. You can really slow down your opponent. It's always nice when you watch a guy like Lima who hands are always in the right place when he's striking. Throws his jab, right hand's always on his face. Elbows tight to the side. He just does a lot of things correct when he's in the striking range.
Diego Lima's brother Douglas, one of the better welterweights in the world. He took his last camp at Tiger Muay Thai, so Diego finished up his training camp there a week and a half in Thailand, alongside his brother Jukau, Anthony Rocco Martin alongside as well.
And he said he did it for the time. For the time. He didn't want to come over here. It needs to adjust to the time difference. From June early and spent some time in Thailand and in the same time zone as Melbourne, and feels as though he's been getting great sleep and having great training sessions, and he thinks it'll benefit him for that.
It'll be interesting to watch that develop. The left hand of Luke Jumeau. He's always been known as a guy who hits hard and has heavy hands. Lima rips the body and seemed to be on the wrong end of an eye poke there.
No blood? A little bit, hold on. Okay, stay where you are.
Yeah, sort of a rake there.
Yeah, a little more of a rake, like he tried to almost slap him, and the fingers went to the eye instead of more of a jam his fingers into the eye to get him forward.
I like that Mark Goddard, even though he didn't have the right angle, gave Diego Lima the benefit of the doubt and gave him a moment. Man, these fans are nice people, huh?
I mean, unbelievable. They stop in action, they start clapping. No guy gets hit low, clap. Guy gets hit to the eye, clap. They're just happy that they're getting to watch fight.
Birdie knocks out an Aussie. Respect.
They all cheering for him on the way out. I think it's like the wrestler back in the day, Mick Foley. Regardless of where you are, you thank the fans, and they always pop for you. The Cape Verdean, thank you, Australia, I love you, and they went crazy for him.
90 seconds here to go in round one that has been fairly slow-paced. Both guys just landing 5 total strikes thus far. Jumo adding to that total there.
And look at the redness on that leg already. Look at him starting to walk gingerly. Jumo starting to walk gingerly on that left leg. If I'm Lima, I'm going back to those low leg kicks.
And oftentimes it can only take 1 or 2 of those calf kicks to render you a one-legged fighter.
Look at how bruised up the leg of Jumo is already. And look how he's walking gingerly on it. He's so worried about getting kicked there again. He's hesitant to go forward. But now that Lima's landed it a couple times, he's gonna have to do it off of something. He's gonna have to throw a jab to get Jumo thinking up top and then land that big leg kick.
Nice job by Lima to close the guard and then fire back with that left hand. 20 seconds now to go in the round. Jumo feints. Well, as Jumo suggested, he is countering patience here with patience early on. Lima once again able to block that offering from Jumo.
You want to talk about Diego Lima. Oh. And you wonder why Luke Jumo is reacting to every single low leg kick. When you take those, it's very damaging.
Getting us started here for round 2. Jumo able to land that right hand over the top, but one and done on the feet there.
Oh, that one landed right on the edge. Jumo won't be able to take many more of those. And both of the Lima boys, they're known for their leg kicks.
And you got to think, in some part, Luke Jumo welcoming the ground game because of those leg kicks from Lima.
Yeah, but you don't want to be on the ground. You don't want to be down there grappling with Diego Lima. He's a very good jiu-jitsu fighter, very good at controlling, and if you make any mistake, he's quick to jump on those submissions.
Jumo back to his feet, about a minute gone by here, round 2.
And if I'm Lima, I'm feinting those low leg kicks, because Jumo's not checking him. He's trying to lift his leg and evade those strikes. So I'm feinting him, and when the foot comes back down to the mat, then I'm blasting that low leg kick again.
Right. And as much as Jumo has said he has developed that left hand, he has yet to switch to that southpaw stance to try to protect that lead leg.
He's going to be forced into switching here in a second.
Just got tossed aside there.
Diego Lima's doing a fantastic job of catching the kicks of Jumo. Jumo's not throwing anything in front of his kicks. They're blind. He's just throwing body kicks without a punch to set it up. That's why they're getting caught, and he's suffering damage for it.
Expired here in round 2. Lima trying to fight hands here. Potentially fight for a second underhook. aggressively.
And you hear Jumo's corner saying, on the move, Luke, on the move. They've scouted Diego Lima, but he's seeing all the attacks coming his way every time. He stops and settles to go and attack. Jumo tries to counter, but Diego's doing a good job of seeing everything and moving out of the way.
And again, just hard to put any sort of weight. That leg looks nasty from our vantage point.
Yeah, it's all beat up, and Diego has struggled with guys that put a lot of pressure on him, take him down a lot, and just really make it work, and Jumo is not doing that. He's allowing him to be too comfortable. He's allowing them to fight at too slow a pace. Diego can do this all night. Jumo has to really pick it up if he's going to try to win this fight. Oh, yeah.
While both men have their moments, 1 minute to go here in the round.
But this is what Jumo has to do. When he takes some risks, the opportunities will show themselves. He's going to have to put himself into the fire, or Diego Lima's just going to pick him apart.
Nice job by Diego to drag Jumo down.
But this is good for Luke, right? Because now Diego's having to wrestle. He's having to exert some energy. Before he was just standing there, picking the shots, going one at a time and just fighting at a real slow pace. Jumo needs to try to get back to his feet and continue to make Lima work.
Couple nice left hands on the ground from Diego Lima. Forces Luke Jumo to change his position.
Still wounded.
Being higher on the posture. Just really threatening him with the choke. Not looking for it, just trying to threaten Jumo on his way out.
2-0 Lima. As
Absolutely.
we see Luke Jumo limp back to his corner. There was a knockdown earlier, courtesy of that leg kick.
Still wounded from my fall earlier.
Look at this leg kick right here. Big step, outside leg kick. Jumo goes down, he pops right back up. But the damage is done. But right here, you see Jumo land this big uppercut, and it's because he decided to take some risk. Yeah, he took a punch, but he was able to get a punch off too. He has to take risk. If he just stays at range, Diego Lima's gonna pick him apart.
Throw it fast. Don't overcommit so you can come on top with your hands. If not, then pull out of there. Don't follow him. Okay? He's gonna win this round, bro.
And in this third round, Luke Jumo has some work to do. I mean, when you feel like you're down too low,
You gotta just fight.
right?
Yeah, you gotta just fight. You know, you gotta take some risk. You know, Luke Jumo has fought that slower pace, right? The more measured pace, and it hasn't worked out for him. He's got his front leg beat up, and he's falling behind 2 rounds. So right now, he has to do something different. But his coaches are telling him not to rush in there, not to overextend himself. And I think at this point, he's gonna have to.
Lima's hands look pretty quick tonight. He hasn't wowed you with volume, but pretty sharp on the feet.
It's the leg kicks. He's landed so many. He's really slowed down Luke Jumo.
Lima had some tough matchups last year, and in 2017, guys like Jesse Taylor and Yushin Okami, guys he's described as wet blankets. When the matchup has gotten a little more favorable, the desired results have certainly been there for him.
Yeah, he's done well when he's fought guys that fight him like this, when they stand with him and they fight at a little bit of a slower pace, you know. He struggles with the wrestlers, he struggles with the grinders, the guys that are constantly in his face, constantly.
Under 3.5 minutes now to go in the fight as Lima lands the right hand over the top. Diego trying to make it 3 consecutive wins tonight.
And like you said, he's coming into his own. Jumo is not fighting this fight because he wants to. Lima is not allowing him to take him down. He's not allowing him to draw him into this fight. He's fighting a good fight.
maybe suggested that Diego Lima should walk away. The chin had been tested and maybe hadn't held up, and certainly been a war of attrition for him.
And he's gotten things right now because he's not taking a lot of damage anymore. He's fighting much more conservatively, and it's allowing him to stay safe, not taking those big strikes.
Diego Lima. Jumo's takedown defense no available to go as Lima tried to change to a single. Unable to change levels.
Diego Lima has fought a good fight. He's fighting exactly where he needs to, at the pace he needs to.
And on the other side, Jumo just hadn't been able to get anything going or find the range consistently, and now the clock is really working against him.
Yeah, and the clock's not his friend now. And this may be one of those times where he switches stances. Go to that new southpaw stance. Show Diego Lima something different. And land a strike that'll allow him to finish his fight.
Nice uppercut from Jumo, and then Lima immediately counters effectively.
Lima threw a nice right uppercut, then a left hook that followed.
Despite being up on the scorecards.
It's his nature. You know, and early in his career, that led to a lot of, you know, him losing fights in terms of knockouts and everything, where people question if he can keep going. So if Jumo's able to draw him into that type of fight, Diego will fight him that way because that's what he does. He's a tough guy that loves to fight.
All right, so 1 minute now to go, and if you're Lima, you certainly got to measure risk here. Pretty good entry, but Jumo thwarts off the shot.
Great balance by Jumo. Diego threw 2 shots at him. He hit a shot and he tried to knee pick him, and Jumo defended him both. And then there again, he ran the pipe and tried to run double leg, and Jumo defended him. Great job by Luke.
And even when Jumo does land more often than not, it is one and done. He is unofficially 25-78 on his significant strike attempts thus far.
And sometimes you watch too much film. You know, you expect the guy to go and you want to counter. You see Jumo almost pulling the trigger over and over again, but not going because Diego's not doing what he expected him to do.
That's a good point. You know, he did his homework and did not produce the desired result tonight. Let's get to the fight replay.
It was leg kicks. Diego Lima landed him over and over again. That real low leg kick beat up the front leg of Jumo. And Jumo was never able to get going again. Great job by Diego, knowing exactly what